Hello everyone. You know, there's something about this time in life, isn't there? After 55, 60, beyond, we've gathered so much wisdom, so many stories. We've raised families, built careers, weathered storms. We understand our bodies and minds in ways we couldn't fathom at 25. Yet, there are still these quiet corners, these little whispers of change or uncertainty that sometimes we don't talk about as openly as maybe we could. Especially when it comes to the deeply personal things, like intimacy, connection, and yes, even pleasure for us ladies who've journeyed through menopause. Maybe you've felt it yourself, or perhaps you've noticed a change in your partner. That shift. Menopause is such a significant milestone. It's natural, it's normal, but goodness, it can rearrange the furniture in ways we didn't quite expect. And sometimes, in all the talk about hot flashes or sleep, something really important gets tucked away, maybe even feels a little forgotten or out of reach. That wonderful feeling of release, of deep satisfaction. An orgasm. Now, why bring this up? Why is this still so important long after the baby-making years are behind us? Well, friends, it's because pleasure doesn't retire. That deep sense of connection, to ourselves, to a partner, to our own vibrant aliveness, that doesn't have an expiration date. An orgasm isn't just a physical thing, it's a whole body sigh of contentment. It's a powerful signal that says, yes, I am still here, I am still capable of feeling profound joy and release. It boosts those feel-good chemicals in our brains, the endorphins, the oxytocin, the very things that lift our mood, ease stress, help us sleep better, and honestly just make us feel more us. Think about it. After menopause, our bodies change. Hormones shift, things might feel a bit drier down there, maybe desire feels different, less insistent. It's easy for that spark to feel like it needs a little more coaxing. And sometimes we might just think, well, maybe that chapter is closed. Or perhaps it feels frustrating, like trying to remember a path you used to walk blindfolded, but now the landscape has changed. But here's the beautiful truth, that capacity for deep pleasure is still very much alive. It might just need a different map now, a little more patience and a whole lot of kindness. So, how do we find our way back there, or maybe discover it anew in this wonderful chapter? How do we make getting there feel less like a struggle and more like a natural, enjoyable journey? Well, it starts with something simple, yet incredibly powerful. Mindfulness and reacquaintance. This isn't about pressure or performance. Forget about the big O as some distant goal for a minute. It's about tuning in, gently, kindly. Think of it like rediscovering a dear old friend. Our bodies after menopause communicate differently. Sensations might feel subtler, or they might blossom in unexpected ways. The first step is simply creating quiet moments, just for you, to explore without any agenda. This isn't about trying to have an orgasm, it's about feeling. Maybe it's taking a few extra minutes in a warm bath, noticing the water on your skin. Maybe it's using a lovely, gentle moisturizer or a specifically designed vaginal lubricant. Not for arousal necessarily at first, but just to bring soothing sensation and awareness back to an area that might have felt a bit neglected or changed. Gently touch your own skin, your thighs, your belly. Notice textures, temperatures. What feels pleasant? What feels neutral? There's no right or wrong here, just curiosity. It's about shifting the focus away from the destination and onto the journey of sensation itself. This mindful approach helps rebuild the connection between your mind and your body. It tells your nervous system, this is a safe place. This is a place of kindness. When we approach ourselves with this gentle curiosity, without pressure, we start to dissolve any anxiety or frustration that might have built up. We learn the new language our body speaks now. And that, my friends, is the essential foundation. It opens the door, making space for pleasure to flow more naturally when the time comes. Because when the mind is relaxed and present, the body can truly respond. And you know what often blossoms from this quiet self-awareness? A deeper sense of calm, a little more patience with ourselves, and perhaps, just perhaps, a flicker of that old spark feeling a bit more familiar, like coming home. That sense of coming home to yourself, that gentle reconnection. It's truly powerful, isn't it? It's like turning the lights on softly in a room you love. You start to notice the details again, appreciate the comfort. And when we approach our own bodies with that kind of patient, kind attention, something beautiful happens. We create the space where pleasure can actually bloom more easily. It's less about chasing it down and more about inviting it in, making it welcome. So, building on that foundation of mindfulness and kindness, let's talk about another essential friend on this journey: exploration and finding your new pathways. Remember, the map has changed a bit. What felt like a direct route before might now be a lovely scenic path. And that's okay. In fact, it can be quite an adventure. For many of us ladies after menopause, direct stimulation that used to work wonders might now feel too intense, or maybe it doesn't quite spark the same way. This is where curiosity becomes your superpower. Think about touch. Experiment with different kinds of touch. Lighter, slower, broader strokes. Maybe use the pads of your fingers instead of fingertips. Explore areas around the more sensitive spots first. The inner thighs, the lower belly, the base of the spine. These areas are rich with nerve endings and can build anticipation beautifully. It's about awakening the whole landscape, not just heading straight for the peak. And remember those lovely lubricants we mentioned? They're not just for comfort. They transform touch into pure glide, making every sensation smoother and more pleasurable. Don't be shy about using them generously right from the start. They remove friction, both physical and mental, and let you focus purely on the feeling. Now here's a key that often gets overlooked but is absolutely vital after menopause: pelvic floor awareness and strength. I know it might sound a bit clinical, but stick with me. It's incredibly practical and deeply connected to pleasure. Those muscles down there? They play a huge role in sensation and orgasm. Menopause can sometimes lead to them feeling weaker or less responsive. The wonderful news is we can gently strengthen and reconnect with them. Simple Kegel exercises are a great start, squeezing and lifting those muscles as if you're trying to stop the flow of urine, then releasing fully. But here's the important part. Do them mindfully. Don't just clench randomly. Breathe deeply, relax your belly, and focus on the lift and the release. Feel the subtle energy there. Imagine inviting more blood flow and awareness into that whole area. Stronger, more responsive pelvic floor muscles can heighten sensation and make orgasms feel fuller and more satisfying. Think of it not as a chore, but as a loving act of tuning up your body's pleasure instrument. And speaking of instruments, let's talk about the maestro, the clitoris. Friends, this amazing little powerhouse remains our primary source of orgasmic potential throughout our lives. After menopause, it might need a little more focused attention or gentler, more persistent stimulation. Don't underestimate the power of indirect touch around it or using vibration. A simple, small vibrator designed for external use can be a revelation. Not because anything is broken, but because it offers consistent, customizable stimulation that our hands sometimes can't quite match anymore. It bypasses any potential fatigue or lessened sensitivity, helping the nerves fire consistently. It's like giving your body a clear, unwavering signal it can respond to. There's no shame in this. It's a practical, joyful tool for rediscovering reliable pleasure. Now, if you share intimacy with a partner, this mindful, exploratory approach changes the game there too. It opens up beautiful conversations. Not necessarily heavy talks, but gentle sharing. You might say, I've discovered I really love a much lighter touch now, or, let's take our time, there's no rush. It shifts the focus from performance to shared discovery, deepening connection in a whole new way. It takes the pressure off both of you. And if you're exploring solo, revel in it. This is sacred time for you, a celebration of your own aliveness and capacity for joy. There's no right way, only your way. It's also completely normal, especially now, for arousal to take longer. Desire might not strike like lightning. It might be more like a slow, warm sunrise. That's why building anticipation through touch, fantasy, erotic stories or images, or simply relaxing deeply beforehand becomes so important. Give yourself permission to linger in the building phase. Savor the sensations as they grow and change. And here's a crucial thing to understand. Sometimes your mind might feel interested, but your body seems slow to catch up, or vice versa. This is called arousal non-concordance, and it's very common, especially with hormonal shifts. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means be patient, keep exploring, and trust the process you're building with mindfulness and kindness. What we're really cultivating here is a deeper intimacy with ourselves first and foremost. It's about listening, responding, and honoring the incredible, evolving wisdom of our bodies. When we approach pleasure with this openness, this willingness to explore new pathways and embrace helpful tools, we're not just aiming for an orgasm. We're reclaiming a vital part of our wholeness, our vitality, our joy in being alive. And that feeling, it radiates out into everything else we do. That sense of wholeness, that quiet joy radiating outwards, it truly is something special, isn't it? It reminds us that this journey we're on, this reclaiming of pleasure, this deepening intimacy with ourselves, it's about so much more than just a single moment of release. It's about nurturing a vibrant, vital connection to our own lives. It's about affirming loud and clear that we are still very much here, capable of experiencing profound depth, delight, and connection. So, we've talked about mindful reconnection, exploring new pathways with curiosity, welcoming helpful tools like lubricants and vibrators, and strengthening our pelvic floor with loving attention. These are powerful steps. But there's one final, beautiful piece that ties it all together, making the journey smoother and the destination more reachable: consistency and celebration. Think of it like tending a cherished garden. You wouldn't plant seeds once and expect a constant bloom, would you? You water, you weed, you appreciate the little sprouts. Pleasure is similar, especially now. Making time for yourself regularly, not just when you feel a strong urge, but as an act of self-care, keeps those pathways open. It reinforces that connection between your mind and body. It doesn't have to be a big production. Even 10 or 15 minutes of mindful touch, maybe using that lovely lubricant, perhaps incorporating gentle vibration if you enjoy it, just exploring sensations without pressure. This consistent practice tells your body, this is important. You're important. Pleasure belongs here. And here's the key: celebrate every spark, every glimmer. Did you feel a pleasant warmth spreading? That's wonderful. Did you discover a new touch that felt surprisingly nice? Celebrate that. Did you simply feel deeply relaxed and connected to yourself afterward? That's a huge win. Release the expectation that every exploration must end in a full-blown orgasm. Sometimes it will, and that's fantastic. Sometimes it won't, and that's perfectly okay too. What matters is the quality of the experience, the kindness, the presence, the pleasure found in the journey itself. When we celebrate these smaller moments, we remove the pressure. We build confidence. We reinforce the positive feelings associated with this time for ourselves. And guess what? That confidence and positivity actually make the bigger releases more likely over time. Never, ever believe the lie that this part of you is over or less important because of age or menopause. Your capacity for deep pleasure, for profound connection with yourself or a partner, is a lifelong gift. It might look different, it might feel different, it might require a little more patience and some new approaches, but it is absolutely still yours to claim and enjoy. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about embracing the beautiful, wise, sensual woman you are right now. You deserve this joy. You deserve this feeling of aliveness, of release, of deep contentment. It belongs to you just as much now as it ever did. So, my dear friends, I invite you to be gentle explorers of your own wonderful selves. Be patient. Be kind. Be curious. Use the tools that help you. Celebrate every step, every sigh, every spark of pleasure along the way. Reclaim this vital part of your wholeness. You are worthy of every bit of joy and connection your body and spirit can hold. I'd truly love to hear about your journey. What resonated with you today? Have you discovered something new that brings you pleasure? Or maybe you have a question. Please share your thoughts, your experiences, or even just a simple hello down in the comments below. Let's support each other in living fully and vibrantly. And if this conversation felt helpful or hopeful, please give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know this topic matters to you. Consider subscribing too so you don't miss more gentle, honest talks about thriving and finding joy in every chapter after 55. Remember, your pleasure, your connection, your vibrant well-being, they are lifelong companions. Tend to them with love, explore with kindness, and celebrate every beautiful moment. You have a truly wonderful time, friends. Be kind to yourselves.